The most toxic person in your life might be you. Imagine that someone is standing behind you 24 hours a day. No matter what you do, this person constantly criticizes you. Whenever you try something new, they whisper, "You're stupid. You will never succeed. You are not good enough. Your luck is terrible. Why even try?" Now ask yourself honestly, would you stay with such a toxic person for even 1 minute? Of course not. Most of us would immediately remove such a person from our lives. But neuroscience and psychology reveal a shocking truth. That toxic person may not be someone else. It may be the voice inside your own mind. Welcome to today's video. Today, we are going to discover how the way you talk to yourself affects your brain, your emotions, your confidence, and ultimately your entire life. We will explore what negative self-talk does to your brain, why your mind naturally focuses on criticism, how positive self-talk changes neural pathways, the science behind affirmations, practical techniques to rewire your mind for success. And by the end of this video, you may realize that changing your life does not require changing everything. Sometimes it only requires changing the way you speak to yourself. Why one criticism hurts more than 10 compliments. Have you ever noticed something strange? 10 people can praise you, yet one person criticizes you, and somehow that one criticism stays in your mind all day. Why? Why does a single negative comment carry more weight than 10 positive ones? The answer lies in how the human brain evolved. Your brain was not designed primarily for happiness. It was designed for survival. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors survived because they paid close attention to threats. The person who noticed danger survived. The person who ignored it did not. This ancient survival mechanism still exists today. Psychologists call it the negativity bias. Because of this bias, your brain naturally pays more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. A criticism feels stronger than a compliment. A failure feels bigger than a success. A rejection feels louder than acceptance. This is not because you are weak. It is because your brain is trying to protect you. But problems begin when external criticism disappears and internal criticism takes over. When your brain becomes your own bully, the world may be completely silent. Nobody may be criticizing you. Yet inside your mind, a voice keeps repeating, "I can't do this. I'm not smart enough. I always fail. Nothing ever works for me." Most people think these are just thoughts, but your brain often treats them like real threats. When negative self-talk becomes frequent, a structure in the brain called the amygdala becomes activated. The amygdala acts like an alarm system, cannot always distinguish between physical danger and psychological danger. When you repeatedly tell yourself that you are a failure, your brain may react as if something dangerous is happening. As a result, stress hormones increase. Cortisol levels rise. Adrenaline is released. Anxiety increases. Focus decreases. Confidence drops. Decision-making becomes harder. This is why many people feel exhausted before they even begin. The battle is not happening outside. It is happening inside their minds. The incredible power of neuroplasticity. Now comes the good news. Your brain is not fixed. It can change. Scientists call this ability neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means your brain can create new connections and strengthen new patterns throughout your entire life. One of the most famous principles in neuroscience says, "Neurons that fire together wire together." Every thought you repeat strengthens certain neural pathways. If you constantly repeat negative thoughts, "I can't do it. I always fail. I'm not good enough," your brain strengthens those pathways. Eventually, negativity becomes your default mode. But the opposite is also true. When you consciously practice healthier thoughts, new pathways begin to form. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "This is difficult, but I can learn." Instead of saying, "I always fail," say, "Every attempt teaches me something valuable." Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "I am improving every day." These aren't empty words. They are instructions for your brain. Over time, these new thoughts create stronger and healthier neural connections. This process is what many people call a mindset shift. But neuroscience shows that it is much more than motivation. It is a biological change occurring inside your brain, the hidden system that controls your focus. At this point, you might wonder, can changing a few words really make that much difference? The answer involves a powerful system in your brain called the reticular activating system, RAS. Think of the RAS as your brain's filter. Every second, your brain receives millions of pieces of information. It is impossible to pay attention to everything. The RAS decides what deserves your attention. Have you ever considered buying a specific car? Suddenly, you start seeing that same car everywhere. The number of cars did not increase. Your attention changed. That's your RAS at work. The same principle applies to your thoughts. If you constantly tell yourself, there are no opportunities, people can't be trusted, nothing good happens to me, your RAS begins searching for evidence that confirms those beliefs. You start noticing obstacles. You focus on disappointments. You see reasons to quit. But when you tell yourself, I am open to learning, I can find opportunities, I can solve problems, your RAS begins highlighting possibilities instead of limitations. The world does not change overnight, but the way you see the world begins to change. And that changes everything. What positive self-talk really means. Many people misunderstand positive self-talk. Positive self-talk is not lying to yourself. It is not pretending problems don't exist. It is not looking in the mirror and saying, everything is perfect, when your life is falling apart. True positive self-talk is honest. It accepts reality, but it responds with support instead of self-destruction. Instead of, I am a failure, say, I made a mistake, but I can learn from it. Instead of, I can't do this, say, I can't do this yet. That one small word, yet, changes everything, because it transforms a permanent limitation into a temporary challenge. Do affirmations really work? Many people ask, are affirmations real, or are they just feel-good phrases? Science suggests that effective affirmations can be powerful when used correctly. Affirmations influence where your attention goes. They help guide your reticular activating system. When you repeatedly say, I am learning, I am improving, I can grow through challenges, you are training your brain to notice evidence that supports those beliefs. Affirmations are not magic. They do not instantly create success, but they help create the mental environment where success becomes more likely. And sometimes, changing how you feel about yourself is the first step toward changing your life. Ask yourself this question. Pause for a moment. How do you speak to yourself every day? Are your words helping you move forward? Or are they quietly holding you back? Because the truth is this, the voice you hear most often in your life is your own. And that voice can become either your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. Final message. You do not need to become a completely different person overnight. You do not need perfect confidence. You do not need a perfect life. You simply need to start speaking to yourself with a little more respect, a little more patience, and a little more kindness. Tonight, before you go to sleep, say one simple sentence. I am ready for change. Don't just say it. Believe it. Feel it. Because every word you repeat becomes a vote for the person you are becoming. Remember, you are valuable. You are capable of growth. And the conversation you have with yourself today is shaping the brain, mindset, and future you will live tomorrow. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, speak to yourself with respect. Your brain is listening.